Who knows what the word perimeter means? If I ask you to get me the perimeter, if I give you a ruler and ask you to get me the perimeter, just wait a minute, perimeter of this piece of paper, what do you measure? One side or all the sides? Exact. What do you call it? The outline or the what? Or the outside border of it. Perfect. How about the word area? What's the difference between perimeter and area? What's the inside? Perfect. Everyone. So Carly perfectly nailed it here. Listen up. The perimeter is the outside length, and the area is the inside space, I guess. So let's write this down. So perimeter. Okay, everyone, let's copy. So perimeter. Perimeter is the outside. Zoe, come on, please. Is the outside length. So if you sketch absolutely any shape and you want the outside length, you just walk outside and you see how long the entire shape is. So outside length or the addition of all sides. Guys, I'm talking. Thank you. Or the addition of all sides. Okay. Area, guys. I don't want to keep saying guys all the time. Please. Thank you. Area is the, now we can't say outside, now we have to say the what? The inside space. Or we can say what? The size of the region. The size of the region. You know, when you buy a house, you're always interested in the what? In the area more than the perimeter. If you're buying a fence, then you're interested in the what? In the perimeter more than the area of the fence. Okay, so the question now is, how many shapes are we responsible for? How many shapes are we responsible for in this course? Well, the good news is not so many. We're only responsible for 4 shapes. That's it. Okay, only 4 shapes. Are there more than 4 shapes? Of course. We could say there's like 8 or 9 or 10. Depends on how complicated you look at it. Okay, so what are the shapes that we're going to be interested in? Well, according to this chart, and by the way, you're all going to have this chart on you to help you with the calculation, so there is need to memorize the equations, but you still need to know how to what? Plug them in. So the first shape we're going to be interested in is a rectangle. What's a perfect rectangle? What if you have a rectangle with all identical sides? What do you call that? A square. So that's why I did not put a rectangle and a square. I just put rectangle. The next one is a triangle. Probably the third one is the one that's going to be new to most of you. Has anyone have heard of a trapezoid before? Raise your hand if you heard of a trapezoid. Yes. And obviously the fourth one is probably one of the most famous one, a perfect circle. A perfect circle. Okay. So let's look at the first shape. Let's look at the first shape. Let's look at the first shape. How many sides does a rectangle have? How many sides does a rectangle have? How many sides does a rectangle have? 4. What can you tell about each one of the 2 sides? What can you tell about those 2 sides? Does anyone know what those signals mean or their symbols? They're what? They're equal. So you have to say that this side is equal to this side, and also what? This side is equal to this side. What do you call the longest side in a triangle? Sorry, rectangle. What's a good name? Well, we can call it the long side, but we can call it just what? Length. So everyone, we will call this length. Length. But we are math people. We don't want to keep calling it length all the time. So we're just going to call it capital L. So I just want you to write length, though. So if this one's length, what's the other one? There you go. So, oops, sorry. Width, WIDTH. And the symbol would be, by the way, I tend to use capital letters. I find them easier to write. Capital W. Well, what does that mean? This is also another length, and this is also another width. So now we're not going to write the words, we're just going to write the symbols. So go ahead and put W here. And then length here. You know what? I think it's better to put the W regularly, like not like this, sorry. Probably this is a good way now. Yes. So everyone, erase it and just write it like this. Okay? LW, LW. Okay. How do you get the full perimeter of this? What do you do with those four sides? What you add them up. So explanation, everyone. Under explanation, not equation yet. Just under explanation, right? Perimeter is the addition of all four sides. Okay, equals. Okay, I like to add L plus W plus W. I just get the L's done first. So L plus W plus W. There's an easier way to write this. 2L plus 2W. Much easier than that. Zoe, Carly, can you copy, please? Thank you. Okay. Does anyone know how to calculate the area of any rectangle? Like if I told you, get me the area of this. By the way, again, this is a life skill. If you leave high school without knowing how to calculate the area of a rectangle, you're truly not ready for so much in life. So who can tell me how to get the area of this rectangle? I'll give you a hint. It depends on the length and the width. But what do you do with those two numbers? You multiply them. So area is the multiplication, the multiplication of length and done. That's it. So what's the equation now? A equals length times width. Done. Could you actually multiply width times length? Of course you can, but you will always hear it length times width. Everyone's going to say always length times width. What's up? Guys? You're distracting me. I can't really focus when I teach, so thank you. So, oh, sorry, this is area, not R. Area. Sorry. Area. That's it. That's all we need to know for what? For rectangles. What's the next shape? What's the next shape down the chart? Triangle. Okay. So I'm just going to wait until everyone's done copying. Okay. Just 1 second. Don't worry. Here you go. Come on. Area is the multiplication of length and width. Okay. Let's go to the next shape. Oh, Anthony, here's the equation. There you go. Just A equals L times width. Make sure that it's a times, not an X. It's like a very small times sign. Okay, next shape, triangle. How many sides does a triangle have? Okay, so let's call them what, everyone? We are going to call this, I want you to do this. So let's, there we go. We're going to call this side 1. So side 1. So I'm going to call it S1. S1. This would be what? Side 2. Go ahead. Side 2. Which means this one will be actually, I'm not going to call it side 3. I'm going to call it a very special name. I'm going to call it the base. So everyone go ahead and call it base. B A S E. Go ahead. Base. Okay. What's the perimeter of this triangle? What do you do with all the sides? What do you do with any perimeter? What do you just do to the sides? What do you do to the sides when you do perimeter? You add them up. If I gave you a garden that looks like this, and I told you this is side 1, this is side 2, this is side 3, you do S1 plus S2 plus the base. So let's write what? Let's write perimeter. Perimeter. Oops, sorry. Perimeter. Perimeter is the addition. Is the addition That's it. So what's the equation? Capital P equals S1 plus S2 plus, what did we call the base? Well, I believe we just called it small b. Small b. Now, how about the area of a triangle? Well, sadly, the 3 sides are not enough. We also need something else. We need the height of the triangle. We need the height of the triangle. Where is the height of any triangle? It's from the very top all the way to the what? To the base. Yes. I wrote something wrong. Oh, P. Sorry. Say again. Oh, my bad. Sorry, everyone. This should be up here. P, thank you. S1, thank you so much. S2, perfect. Oops. Delete, 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 delete. Okay. Now I need you to add something to the diagram, everyone. Go ahead and add this. What do you call that? What do you call that? Starts with H. Height. Go ahead and put a small h. Or you can put it like this if you want. Sorry, I shouldn't be too. Oh, my bad. Skipping. There we go. Thank you. So what's the area of a triangle? The area of a triangle is this, everyone. It's base times height divided by 2. So I'm just going to tell you. Area. Go ahead and write this down in the explanation box. Area is the multiplication base and height. So how would that look like when you do the equation? Equals, and you have to use a fraction sign, base times, that's a times, by the way. I'm going to make it bigger, I mean, so you can see what it is, times height. Don't forget to divide by 2, but you have to do the top first anyway. Okay? So now we are done with 2 shapes. We are done with the rectangle, and then we are done with the triangle. Can someone read the name of the third shape? Trapezoid. Trapezoid. Okay. If anyone is still copying, here's the whole thing. Please make sure you have it in your notes. There we go. And there we go. You guys have it copied all? All right. Again, I hope that we can start a new unit fresh, with more focus. You've seen me for 3 weeks now. You know the style of the course. So hopefully now you know exactly how it's going to happen every week. Okay. How many sides does a trapezoid have? How many sides? Charlie, Zoe? Um, okay. Awesome. 4. So we have to put some names to them, or some symbols at least. The top one we call lowercase a. So I want you to do this. Just waiting for it to go down. Further. Okay. We're going to call the top one A. We're going to call the bottom one B because it's technically the base. We are going to call this side side 1. We are going to call this side side 2. Okay, what's the perimeter of this shape? What do you do with those 4 numbers? You add them up. Thank you. So perimeter, let's go back to green. Perimeter. By the way, any trapezoid has to have 4 sides. Perimeter is the addition addition okay, addition of all 4 sides. So what's the equation? A plus B plus S1 plus S2. So the perimeter is A plus B, that's a B, plus S1 plus S2. How about the area? We need the height. So I need you to go and make a line like this. This is the height. How do you know? Oh, no, 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 no. Those are examples. Okay, what's the area? The area is this. I'm going to write the equation first this time. It's A plus B in a bracket so how could we explain this? Well, we could say what? You add the A and B, so you add the top and the bottom, you multiply by height, and then you divide by 2. So let's write this down, kind of explaining what the equation is. Area is the addition of top and bottom of top. This is my way of writing and bottom. You can just write the word and, top and bottom, multiplied by height multiplied by height. Then you divide by what? Then divided by 2. So it's like 3 things you have to do step by step. Then divided by 2. Then divided by 2. This is height. Okay, 3 shapes done, 1 to go. And the last one is probably the most special shape in the universe, which is a perfect circle, or we can just say a circle, because every circle should be perfect if it's sketched properly. Let me just see something here. I just want to go quick up. Okay, good. We're good, yeah. So area is the addition of top and bottom multiplied by the height and then divided by the number 2. By the way, the only number we always divide by in these equations is 2. You never divide by 3 or 4 or whatever. Okay. All right. I'll wait. I'll zoom out so you can see both the green and the red together. Okay, last shape. Does anyone know what we call, listen up, does anyone know what we call this line? The line that should cut it perfectly in half. Oops, sorry. Does anyone know what we call this line? What do you call a line that cuts a circle in half? You know what? Zoe just answered my second question. My second question was, what do you call the line that goes from half the circle or the middle of the circle or the center to the rim? That's called the what? What do you call double the radius or the full distance that cuts a pizza pie perfectly in half? How many people have heard of a diameter? This is the diameter. So, but here's the thing. To Zoe's point, listen up. We never need the diameter for the circle. We need the what? So how do you sketch the radius? Well, I kind of have to tell you where the center of the circle is. So let's guess. Do you actually see it in your notes? I don't think so. No, I should have given you a dot where the center is. But you know what? Let's say that the center is, oops, sorry. Let's say that the center is, to the best of my guessing ability, is here. So everyone go ahead, put a dot right there. That's going to be the center. And then I just want you to put a line. You could choose this line. You could choose this line. Are all of those lines the same? Sorry, should they all be the same length? Of course, it's a circle. A circle is the same distance from the center anywhere you go. So I didn't need to show you 3. I just needed to show you 1. But I decided to give you basically multiple options. Just like that is perfectly enough. Zoe, do you know how to spell radius? Come on, listen up, if you know. R, okay, I'm just gonna write what you say. R, A, D, all right, the last 3. Radius. Well, you got the I right. I-U-S. So go ahead and write radius there. What's the symbol for radius? Just a small r. Okay. Question to everyone. How many people have heard of the number pi? How many of you people have heard of the number pi? Do you know what's the value of the number pi? By the way, pi is an infinite number, but it's always famous for the first 3 digits of itself. Again? Well, it's a 3 with a decimal point. What are the two famous numbers after the decimal point? 14. 3.14. Okay. Shh. Question. Listen up, guys. Does anyone know what we call, wait, let me finish the question. Does anyone know what we call the perimeter of a circle? It's the only shape where you really don't call it perimeter. I mean, you're okay calling it perimeter, but it has a very special name that starts with a C. What do you call the, if I have a circle and I walk on it? Say again? Circumference. You never need to know how to spell the full word. You got it. You never need to know how to spell the full word. We just need to know what symbol it is. The symbol is capital C. So wait a minute. First of all, what kind of a statement is that? She's Canadian. Yeah, just like you are, just like I am, just like every one of us is. Okay? You really, really need to always think about what you say before you say it, especially in public. Okay? No problem. We all learn here. Guys, it was not really worthy of a big scene. So perimeter of a circle is called a, go ahead. Sure. It's called a what? Say it again. Circumference. It's kind of a tough word to spell. That's why I'm really not going to ask you to spell it all the time. I'm just going to say it once. Perimeter of a circle is called, and I'm going to write it in a different color to tell you that it's a very special word. Sorry, come on, go red, please. C I R C U M F E R E N C E. You see why I don't want you to write it every time? Because it's a long word. However, oops, sorry. What's the equation? Yes. Let me just finish this one. What's the equation? Listen up. What's the equation that tells you how long a circle, or not how long a circle is, I guess, how long the distance around the circle is? Here it is. C equals 2 times 3.14 times, oh, my bad. We're supposed to write explanation here. So let me just write this. Sorry, 1 second. Don't worry, we're going to copy the equation up there, but I need to write it here in words. 2 times pi times okay, so go ahead and write this down, guys. C equals 2 times pi times radius. What's pi? Pi is a special number. Pi is a special number, 3.14. Whenever you deal with circles, you always have to include a number called pi, and the value for it is 3.14. So what's the equation? The equation is just C equals 2 times 3.14 times the radius. Okay, but that's for the what? That's for the perimeter of the circle. What if you want to paint the circle? What if you want the inside area of a circle? Then it's called the area. I'm going to just squeeze this word. Just give me a second. There we go. Perfect. So now, what's the area of a circle? Here's the equation. A equals 3.14 times, go ahead, write that equation down. So the first thing you do is you square the radius, and then you multiply by 3.14. So area of a circle is the radius squared, then multiplied by, there we go. Go ahead, copy that. Yes, go ahead. So that's the whole thing. The last row here is how do you measure perimeter, and how do you measure what? How do you measure area? Okay, if I ask you right now, how long is this pencil? You can tell me, oh, it's 15 centimeters long, or 2 inches long, or 3 yards long, and so on. So whenever you use, or whenever you want length, everyone, here are some units. Centimeters, meters, inches. Any other ones? Come on, people. What do we use to measure length? Centimeters, meters, inches. What else? Millimeters. Anyone else? Kilometers for big ones. Yes. How about in football? What do they use? Actually, in football, they use something else. They say the whole 9 yards. Thank you. YD. I think that's enough. Okay, so those are all examples of what? Of things to measure length. How do you measure area? All of them are the same, but you put a power of 2 on top. So centimeters squared, meters squared, inches squared, millimeters squared, and so on. So I want you to copy the same thing. So centimeters squared, meters squared, inches squared. Oh, we forgot feet. Everyone, let's add feet because it's a very common one. Boom, that's it. So every time you want area, you have to put a 2 on top. Every time you want length, you put nothing. You just write the actual unit itself. Okay, so after you're done, we will flip to the second page to actually do some examples on perimeter. Only perimeter for the first page. Only perimeter for the first page after you're done copying. Yes. Let's just wait until he comes back and then you can go. No problem. Everyone good? Done copying? Yes. Let's just do a few and then you can. Okay, everyone. Second page. Find the perimeter of each of the following shapes. What's the first shape? Great. I want you to write the name of the shape next to it. So go ahead and write circle. Circle. Which equation are we going to use? Which equation are we going to use for the perimeter of a circle? Flip the page, everyone. Flip the page. Go back to the chart. Which equation are you going to use for the what? For the perimeter of a circle. I'll show you what I mean. Are we going to use this one or this one? First or second? First. This is for the area. This is for the circumference. So let's do this equation. Come on. C equals. So let's write it down. Okay. C equals 2 times 3.14 times, what's the radius here? What's the radius of this circle? It's the distance from the center to the edge of the circle. So it's 2.5. Please don't write centimeters now. Keep it till the end. Unless you want to write centimeters now, but that means you're going to write too much. Okay, what do I do now? Nothing. I put up my trusty machine up here. Come on. Yep, there we go. 2 times 3.14 times 2.5. That's it. Is it centimeters squared or just centimeters? All perimeters are in just what? All perimeters is just the distance around. Just the distance around, so it's just what? Centimeters. That's it. What shape do we have next? Triangle. So I want you to write triangle here. Triangle. What numbers are you going to use if you want to find the perimeter of the triangle? You just want the outside length. So what numbers are we going to use here? By the way, there is one number here we're not going to use. There is one number here we're not going to use. Which one? For the perimeter. Which number is inside the triangle? 2.5. If it's inside, you don't use it for the outside. So go ahead. P equals. Does it matter which one of the sides you write first? Nope. You're going to have to write the three of them. This one, and this one, and this one. So go ahead. 3.8. 3.8 plus 3.3 plus 5. Okay, let's add those up. You can add them, if you want, you can add them in your head. 3.8 and 3.3 is 7.1. 7.1 plus 5. Sorry. Okay, there we go. 11.1 in what unit? Feet. Thank you. Okay, good. Next shape. What shape is this? It's a perfect rectangle. How come I didn't show you the length of this one and the length of this one? Because it's the same. So everyone go ahead, put 21 millimeters here, and put 12 millimeters here. And then we're going to write the name of the shape, which is rectangle. Wow. Rectangle. How do you get the perimeter of a rectangle? This one plus this one plus this one plus this one. Or multiply this one by 2 because you have 2 of it. Multiply this one by 2 because you have 2 of it. And then add up the whole thing. So I'm going to show you 2 ways to write it. Everyone look. You can write this. P equals 21 plus 21 plus 12 plus 12. If you add all of those, you get 42 and 24 is 66. So 66 millimeters. What was another way to do it? Or you could write it this way. Again, I'm just going to show you both and leave it up to you. P equals 2 times 21 plus 2 times 12. Guess what? You're also going to get 42 plus 24, which is 66 millimeters. So go ahead, copy that down, please. Either way is correct. Either way is 100. Oops, sorry. Let me move this to be next to it. There we go. This is much better. There you go. Guys, did you copy? Abdullah? There's a lot to copy. Yes. Oh, yeah, go ahead. Yes. Okay. Guys, relax. Not worth commenting on. What shape is this one? Great. Language. I heard that. How come I didn't show you 3 sides? How come I only showed you this side and this side? What about the third side? Guys? What about the third side? What about the third side that doesn't have a number on it? There is a number, but we don't see it. But what is it? Anyone knows? What number should I put here? Why? Because this symbol is the same as this symbol. So this one is also 2.3. Awesome. So I'm just going to put a quick double-headed arrow right here. Oops. Should be. Okay. There we go. 2.3. Okay, now we're ready. Perimeter is 2.3 plus 2.3 plus 1.8. 4.6 plus 1.8. 4.6 plus 2, 6.4. And what's the unit here? Centimeters. Okay? Finding perimeter is really, really, really easy because you just have to what? Add up a bunch of sides. What do you call this shape? What do you call this shape? Say again? Trapezoid. Trapezoid. How many sides are you going to add? 4 sides. You're going to add the top to the bottom, to this side, to this side. Okay, let's do that. So P equals, what was the top side? 6.3, thank you. Plus 9.3 plus 7.5 on one side plus 7.5 on another side. So how much is that? Well, let's see. I know that 7.5 and 7.5 together are 15. So I just need to do this one. 6.3 and 9.3 is 15.6. So the whole thing together will be 30.6 in what unit? Well, in this case, it's in meters. So it's quite a big trapezoid. Okay. What shape? What shape is this one? Triangle. So triangle. I gave you all the sides. You just have to add them up. P equals, doesn't matter which one you start with. I'll start with this, add this, and then finish with this one. So you don't need to put the circles. Six plus 10 plus 8. How much is that? Well, 6 plus 10 is 16. 16 plus 8 is 24. So 24 what? 24 yards. 24 yards. Oops, sorry. What shape is this? Are you given the radius or the full diameter here? Are you given the radius or the full diameter here? How do you get the radius if you're given the full diameter? You divide it by, because a diameter is double the length of a radius. So the first thing we have to do is I have to put, let me choose green. I have to put only half of it. How much is half of 19? Well, half of 18 is 9. Half of 20 is 10. 9.5. Everyone, go ahead and write 9.5 feet. I can't emphasize this enough. Please never use the diameter. Always make sure you use the radius. Okay. So now I can put the equation. What's the equation? What's the equation? Does anyone remember? Well, let's go up the page. Everyone look. Oops, sorry. Here it is. 2 times 3.14 times whatever we get for the radius. Okay, so circle. So the circumference is 2 times 3.14 times, is it times 9.5 or 19? Nope. You never multiply by the diameter. You use the 9.5, which is the radius. Thank you. So how much is this multiplication? Well, I don't know. Let's see. 2 times 3.14 times 9.5. 59.66 in what unit? In feet. Good. Oops, sorry. What kind of a shape is that? A perfect what? It's more than a rectangle. It's a perfect square. This is equal to that, is equal to that, is equal to that. That's the definition of a square. So I'm going to put what? I'm going to put 13.2 here. I'm going to put 13.2 here. I'm going to put 13.2 here. So what do? Now you have a choice. You can actually add 4 of them together, or you can say, wait a minute, I have 4 copies of the same thing. I can just multiply 4 by 13.2. So I'm going to show you 2 things. So square. Oh, sorry. Let's do red. Square. Come on. Square. So one way to do it is to say what? P equals 13.2 plus 13.2 plus 13.2 plus 13.2. How much is that equal to? 13, 13, 13, 13 is 52.8 centimeters. That's one way. What's the other way? The other way is to just say, P equals 4 times 13.2. Guess what? One shot. You got the same answer. Because it's a square. All 4 sides are exactly the same. What's the last shape? What can you tell me about the 3 sides of this triangle? What can you tell me about the 3 sides of this triangle? Are they different or are they all equal? Anyone? What can you say about this triangle? All sides are equal because the same symbol, same symbol, same symbol, which means 5, 5, 5. So I'm going to put 5 inches here and 5 inches here. Perfect. So this is a triangle. So the perimeter is just either 5 plus 5 plus 5 or 3 times 5. So one way to write it is 5 plus 5 plus 5, which is 15. 15 what? 15 inches. Or you can just say what? Since I have the same thing repeated 3 times, P equals 3 times 5, which is 15 inches as well. What are we going to do now? The what? The what? The area, which is the space inside. So right now, look, I want you to tell me how big all of this is, or how big all of this is. Okay, so the inside, not the outside. Okay, so let's, okay, let's go, come on, way down. Okay, what shape is this? Quick. Circle. So go ahead, write circle. Circle. Come on. Circle. Can someone tell me what's the area of a circle? What's the area equation of a circle? Go to the first page of the notes. Go to the first page of the notes and tell me what the area equation of a circle is. That's what you have to do tomorrow. I will not say anything. What's the area equation of a circle? Yes, Zoe. Yes? Uh-huh. So it's 3.14 times, again, what did we call that? Radius, but it has to be squared. So times 2.5. And you have got to put a 2 here. Let me zoom in. Okay. You have to do this one first. So 3.14 stays the same. Times, who knows what's 2.5? By the way, what does squaring mean? When you square a number, what does that mean? You multiply it by what? You multiply by itself. So this is just a way of saying 2.5 times 2.5, which will be 6.25. So we just have to multiply now. Here's my machine. 3.14 times what? 6.25. That's it. So 19,625. Can someone tell me in what unit? Say again. Centimeters, but it's an area. So it's centimeters with what? With 2 on top. Yes. See, by the way, some people like to say centimeters squared, and some people like to say squared centimeters. Same thing. I like to say centimeters squared. Done. That's it. What's the next shape? Triangle. Can someone tell me from the chart what's the area of a triangle? Come on. Look at the first page of today's notes. What is the area equation of a triangle? What's the area equation of a triangle? It's right there in the notes. In fact, I will show you what I mean. Everyone, this is what I mean. If you go up to the first page, what's the area equation of a triangle? What does B stand for? Base. What does H stand for? Height. Base times height divided by 2. So let's go down to the third page. There we go. A equals, how big is the base of this triangle? 5 feet. So the base is all of this. This is the base. This is where it stands on the ground. So 5. What's the height of this triangle? How high is it? From here to here, 2.5 feet. Thank you. And then you have got to divide by, sorry, I'm going to make a good 2. There we go. You have to divide by 2. Okay, you have to multiply the things on the top first. So what's 5 times 2.5? 5 times 2 is 10. 12.5. Almost done. I just need to divide now. So this is equal to 6.25. Can someone tell me what the unit is here? Come on, people. What's the unit here? What's the unit? What's the unit? Tomorrow you're going to figure all this on your own in a very basic quiz. I'm not going to be able to say or help anything. What's the unit for this question? Again? Feet. Oh, by the way, all areas are something squared. Something squared. So perfect. Thank you. Feet squared. Awesome. Okay. Next shape. What shape is that? What shape is this? What shape is this? Rectangle. What is the area of a rectangle? Again, go up the chart to the very first shape. Come on. What's the area of a rectangle? It's the easiest one. It's always the easiest equation. What's the area of a rectangle? Come on. Go to the first page, read the chart, first one on the chart. What's the area of a rectangle? Look at the chart. I am not asking you to invent anything new. Look at the chart. By chart, I mean this. By chart, I mean all this. Area of a rectangle is how long it is times how wide it is. Easiest equation ever, the smallest one of all. So let's go down to the third page. Come on. There we go. Rectangle. Okay, everyone. A equals, how long is this rectangle? What's the long side? How long is the long side? 21. How wide is the short side? We just have to multiply those two numbers. I don't know how much. 20. Keep going. No, millimeters what? Thank you. Yes. You always need to put that squared at the end. So you said what? Sorry, 200 and? I trust that is the correct answer. Good. I hope everyone's copying. Okay, on to the second row of that page. Let's see what shape we can do. Let's do the triangle. Everyone, here is the triangle. Triangle. What was the area of a triangle again? We just did it. That was the first base times height divided by 2. Can someone tell me how wide is the base of this triangle? The base is this one. How high is this triangle? 2.1. That's it. Those are the only two numbers you need. So area equals, the base is 1.8. The height is 2.1. And we have to divide by 2. Okay. Let's see what's, sorry, let me just move this. What is 1.8 times 2.1? We get 3.78. So 3.78, but exactly perfect. The most common mistake is people forget to divide by 2. That will be 1.5 and 26 is 22. 89. Yes. Can you, Zoe, can you tell me what's the unit? Centimeters with a square. Perfect. I hope now you're seeing the trend. The trend is that for all area problems, you have got to put a square at the end with the unit. Okay, this is the most inconvenient of all of them. What shape is this one? Trapezoid. So let's write the name. trapezoid. Okay. Wow, what's the equation for a trapezoid? I'll just write it on the board. The equation for a trapezoid is, look at one, the equation for the area of a trapezoid, look, it's A plus B times H divided by what? Can someone tell me what's the A, what's the B, what's the H? Where you have a bunch of numbers here. Which one is the A? Come on, you can look at the chart. You can look at the first page chart. Which one is the A? Anyone? Come on. Yes, everyone. The top base, I shouldn't call it base. Let's call it the top ceiling. The top ceiling is A, so I want you to write A here, everyone. Just write A here. Okay, Zoe, what's B? B is the base or the bottom. And where's the height? Thank you. Okay, let's put the equation. So A equals I like to put the fraction sign first. 6.3 plus, it's actually a plus. Yep. Look, everyone. Let me just use the laser pointer. Everyone, look. It's a plus in the bracket times outside of the bracket. So plus 9.3 times, what's the height? 7.3, all divided by 2. Okay, we are on the right track. We just have to be careful because we have to do it step by step. Come on, go down. Okay, equals. Equal. What's 6.3 plus 9.3? That's 15.6 times 7.3. So basically, everyone look, I'm going to highlight this addition. Oops, this addition right here is, come on, almost there. What's 15.6 times 7.3? That's got to be a big number. 11388. Finally, we just have to divide by 2. $56.94. Can someone tell me the unit? Can someone tell me the unit for this question? Meters, and we square because this area. Thank you. Okay, so which is the first page of today's handout. You just need to put the numbers in. All right, let's do the next one. What shape is this? Triangle. So let's write triangle. How wide is the base of this triangle? The base is 8. How high is this triangle? Perfect. So we can straightforward say A equals 8 times 6 divided by 2, which is 48, which makes it 24, and the unit is indeed yards squared. Thank you. Go. There we go. Yards squared. Okay. What shape is this? Circle. So let's write circle. Are you given the, or not are you given? Are you shown the diameter or the radius? What do, yeah, Zoe, what do you call this? But we need only the radius. We need the radius. Do you remember how we found the radius? Yep, you divide it by 2, or you get half of it, or you get 50% of it, whatever you want to call it. It's the same thing. So I'm just going to go like this. I think this is about half. And we did calculate it to be 9.5 feet. And now we're ready. So A equals 3, yep, 3.14 times 9.5 with a square, which is 3.14. Now, what's 9.5 squared? That is 90.25, which is, I don't know what that is, 3.14 times 90, 25. 283.385. 283.385. Zoe, any unit? Feet squared. Perfect. There we go. Okay, what shape is this? It's not just a rectangle, it's a perfect rectangle, which is just another name for a square, which means technically the length and the width are exactly the same. So this is 13.2 centimeters. This is 13.2 centimeters, and this is 13.2 centimeters. So the area is technically what? Length times width, but they are the same. So it's 13.2 times 13.2. Perfect. So I just need to multiply those two numbers together. 13.2, whoops, 2, not 0, 2 times 13.2. 174. Was it 24? Yes. And what's the unit here? Centimeters. Thank you. With a square. You know what? Let me just clean this up right here. Yes. Feet square. There we go. Okay. Last shape. It's a triangle. But we said this is a very special triangle. All the sides are the same. So this is 5, and also this is 5. Okay, let me just erase the word triangle. So how wide is the base? 5. So I'm just gonna put 5 inches here. 1 second. 1 second. Just there we go. What the? Uh, there we go. 5. 5 inches. How high is the triangle? Great. So we're ready. A equals the base is 5. The height is 4.3. And you divide by 2. Because that's how you do every triangle. Equals 5 times 4.3. That's a 21.5. Let me check. 5 times 4.3. Yep, 21.5 divided by 2. How much is that? Well, that is 11 point. Oh, 10. Sorry, 10.75. My bad. In inches with a square on top of it.